Alex Hormozi is generating zillions of leads across 16 different companies, doing over $200 million a year. And most people think all he uses is just content and ads. But what most people forget is that during COVID, Gym Launch was actually on the verge of collapse, and he used cold outreach to keep it alive. I took his same cold outreach strategy and used it to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue and even helped one of our own clients keep their own business alive.
Say working with you has single-handedly grown and kept my company alive.
You see, Hormozi breaks down cold outreach into three simple truths. One, most people don't know how to generate the right leads. Two, even when they know how to generate and find the right leads, they don't know what to say. And three, even if they say the right thing, they don't say it enough. That's the whole formula. And in this video, I'm going to show you how we solved all three of these things using our cold outreach engine built directly from Hormozi's playbook. Okay, so this is Alex Hormozi's cold outreach playbook that he used to save Gym Launch from going bankrupt during COVID. We'll first start off with the first step and the first big problem that I spoke about, which is how do you find the right leads, right? So the benefit with cold outreach, and this is directly from $100 million leads, by the way, from Hormozi, and this is what he says about cold outreach. He says the benefit of cold outreach is that with cold outreach, unlike any other way of advertising, we get to be as specific as we want. You only want to talk to hedge fund managers managing over $1 billion? Done. You can do that. And then he gives more and more examples, right? So that's the biggest benefit of doing cold outreach. You can target whoever you want, wherever you want in the world, unlike any other way of advertising. Now, what Hormozi says about list building specifically is that there are three different ways I get my targeted lead list. First, I use software to scrape a list of names. Second, he pays brokers. And third, if neither of those work, he just manually scrapes the list himself, right? Now, what we used at our agency to help our clients is software. And this is what I recommend most people start at, right? He doesn't recommend a specific software to use because obviously getting a shout out from Hormozi or like a recommendation from Hormozi would literally generate that software millions. But he says to Google a few and find your ideal customers. Now, if you don't want to Google a few and go ahead and find one, I recommend Apollo as a good starter. That's like the best one. I have a full Apollo guide on my channel you can watch somewhere. But essentially, you want to put in the parameters of $100 million offers of your ideal customers in that said database. So if you haven't read $100 million offers, Hormozi goes over how to find your ideal customer based off of pain points, things you're good at, all that good stuff. If you don't know that, go read that book first and then get to this step. But essentially, you want to put in the parameters that you found from that book into the software. So for example, this is a sample lead list that we had on Apollo, where it's pretty much the CMOs of marketing agencies between 11 to 100 employees in Canada, right? This is an example of a lead list you can generate. And for you, it could be something else. It could be different job titles, different industries, different location, whatever it may be. But this is just an example to get your head going on how to actually generate a list using a software. Now, this is very important because the more specific you can get, the more and more you could charge. For example, here's a client that we had where essentially one of our clients had a really good case study with a weight loss and obesity doctor, and they wanted to target similar people. So the entire cold outreach script that we used was like, hey, first name, I noticed that you're similar to one of our clients who was like a weight loss and obesity doctor. We just helped her do this. Are you open to hearing how we could do the same for you? This guy said, yeah, it looks interesting. I'm about to sign with another agency. I just booked us a time for us to chat later today. And our client actually ended up closing this deal. So essentially, we sent one email, he booked a call, and our client closed a $15,000 deal. All because we got super specific on the type of customer we wanted to go after. So really, to find the right leads, use a software to start out, get specific, and you can really dial down the messaging and tailor it, right? So that's the first step. A first problem that we solved. How do you find the right leads? Well, use a software, get specific, and you can reach out to them. Then the second thing is, what do I say, right? Hormozi says this is the second problem for doing cold outbound. And what he recommends is personalizing every messages, right? He says personalization is what gets your foot in the door to get the sale. And he talks more about this. Again, this is directly from $100 million leads, but essentially it's like people who like them. Even if someone doesn't know you, they'll give you more time if you know something about them. He basically recommends this because this breaks the ice and you'll be able to get your foot in the door, right? And what he also recommends in terms of what to say is give big, fast value. The key difference between people who don't know you or people who know you and strangers is that strangers give you far less time to prove your worth, and they need a lot more incentive to move towards you. So make your life easier by giving away the farm. We're not trying to tickle their interest. We're trying to blow their minds in 30 seconds. And he recommends you personalize and give value. So pretty much with this, it's giving away something for free or making your offer so good, people feel stupid saying no, right? That's how we used it. We personalize and we give big, fast value. Now, how do you actually personalize? It depends. Obviously, if you have like a 3,000 person lead list, you don't want to sit there and manually go through the entire spreadsheet one by one on personalizing it. So we recommend using a software, and so does Hormozi. Again, Hormozi doesn't shout any software out because getting a shout out from Hormozi would literally change any company, but he recommends you find a software and you pay for it. And the best software to do this is clay.com. Again, I have a guide on my channel, go check it out here, but pretty much clay.com, if you combine it with ChatGPT, you can use it to write an AI line based off of their website, their LinkedIn, their social media, and much more. You can literally tell the AI to be like, hey, go to this company's website and write them a personalized compliment based off of what they do, right? That's how you personalize at scale when you're reaching out to thousands of people. And the second thing is big, fast value. Again, give away something that, and there's a typo here, give away something that other people would charge for, right? So essentially, either make your offer so good people feel stupid saying no, or give away something like other people charge for. And let me show you an example of this, right? This is for a client where we combined both personalization and big fast value. We reached out to this company who said, hey, Name, if we could get you 5 tire zap tied leads in the next week or you don't pay, would you be interested? Essentially, to give you more context, and then this guy said, yeah, I'm interested in learning about how this works. Let's set up an appointment. But basically, to give you more context, we used AI to take a look at this med spa that we were targeting, and we used AI to be like, okay, what type of lead does this med spa want the most? What type of lead does this med spa desire the most? That's how you personalize and make it relevant, right? And then, in terms of big fast value, our client pretty much had an offer where they had an introduction offer where in the next 15 days of working with them, or the first 15 days of working with them, they would get you 5 leads or you don't pay. So that's how you give big, fast value while also personalizing. And these are just one of the many ways you can use different cold outreach scripts. Obviously, for everybody, for all of you watching this and with cold email, it could be different. But this is just one of the ways. If you do want a guide on different ways to use cold outreach scripts, I have a free guide inside my school community where it's pretty much 5 cold email scripts to help you book 10 to 20 calls a month, every month, that you can use instantly inside of my school community for free. So click the link below and join. Again, free for you to use. But these scripts are more general and not specific. That way you can just copy and paste them, right? But yes, that's the second step. Personalize, give big, fast value, because that's how you say things. And the last thing is say it more often. You see, this is what Hormozi said. Everything may be right except the timing. So the more times we contact them, the more likely it is that we will catch them at the time that they're ready to engage. So you might be emailing somebody today, but they might not be ready to buy 3 months down the line, until 3 months down the line, or maybe 6 months down the line, whatever it may be. So what he recommends is that you follow up on different channels. So let's say you reach out to them via email and they don't respond, you follow up on LinkedIn. If they don't follow up on LinkedIn, you go to cold call. If they don't pick up the phone, go to Instagram. You see what I mean, right? And also, you want to follow up as multiple times, as it shows that you have something important to discuss. So what I mean is, if you keep following up with somebody across all these different channels, usually, especially if like the person is in sales, let's say, they will respect the hustle. They'll respect the grind. They'll be like, okay, well, this guy's reached out to me multiple different times on multiple different platforms. So he has something important to tell me, and clearly he thinks that like something that whatever he's selling, it can benefit me. So I might as well listen to him at least, right? I might as well respond to him at least. I don't have to buy it from him yet, but at least I'll respond to him, right? And so you just want to follow up different times in multiple different ways. And let me show you an example of this that we did it for a client, right? Again, this was a client where they responded to us, right? This guy, she said, hey, yeah, this sounds good. 10 to 20 wedding meetings a month. I forgot what exactly offer it was, but this sounds good. Tell me more about your agency. We responded back and said, hey, we can help you do this, and this. Are you interested? Would you be open to a call later today, right? After we sent this email, this person ghosted us. They stopped replying over email. So what did we do? Well, we picked up the phone because we saw that, okay, she has a phone number in her signature. So we just called her. We said, hey, Marissa, like we had a chat via email. How about we get on a call and we could discuss this more? And boom, she booked the time, right? So if somebody is not responding, switch to a different platform, call them or whatever, and follow up multiple different times, and then you will get them booked in your calendar. So that is the third step. Follow up more times and more often. So essentially, ladies and gentlemen, to give you a summary of Hormozi's outreach playbook, you want to first build a targeted lead list by using scraping filters so that you only contact ideal buyers. And for this, you can use software. Second, you want to personalize like a friend and deliver big, fast value to earn trust instantly. And then third, you want to follow up consistently, not automate volume, but automate volume does help. You want to follow up consistently because cold outreach is a number game. Just follow up multiple different times across multiple different channels because you want to keep going at them until they say no. So that is Hormozi's $100 million cold outreach playbook. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. If you are a B2B business and you want pretty much someone to do all of this for you, this entire cold outreach stuff for you, and book 10 to 20 calls a month, book a call using the link below and we can discuss this further. Here's some of the results that we've gotten our clients. Deepak closed $270,000 in revenue with our outbound. Renee from First Rank booked 57 meetings, signed 8 new clients. Matthias booked 25 meetings and closed 2 deals. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.